If you've ever looked at a beautifully printed notebook, a roll of wrapping paper, or fabric covered in florals and thought, how did someone even make that? Today's episode is for you.
We're diving into the world of surface pattern design, what it is, why it's everywhere, and why it might just be the perfect next step in your creative journey.
And if you're new here, I'm Kaylie Edwards, a creative business mentor and toddler mum from North Wales in the UK. I work with handmade sellers and artists to help them create more flexible, scalable income streams through courses, digital products, and gentle marketing strategies.
And I'm Delores Naskrent, a digital and traditional artist and educator based in Canada. I specialize in teaching creative tools like Affinity Designer and Procreate, especially for those diving into the world of digital art and surface pattern design.
Together, we co-host the Creative Juggle Joy, a space for artists, makers, and multi-passionate creatives who are balancing life, family, and building a business that works with their reality.
In a nutshell, surface pattern design is creating visual elements, often called motifs or icons or elements, depending on where you live, assets, some people call them, and then taking these and arranging them into repeating patterns that can be printed onto all kinds of products.
And a motif can be anything, a flower, a shape, a character, or even a doodle that you can turn into part of a repeating design. It doesn't have to be complicated.
Yeah, you're right. You'll see surface pattern designs on everything from fabric to wallpaper. Those are kind of the obvious ones, but they're on greeting cards. I've seen them on planners and wrapping paper and upholstery, flooring, packaging. I mean, it's everywhere. And the amazing part is, once you create a pattern, it can be used over and over in multiple ways.
Yes, so you may be thinking, who is this for? This is such a juicy creative path for handmade sellers, digital artists, other creatives who are thinking about digital products but don't know where to start.
Yeah, it's also ideal for all digital artists, illustrators, even traditional artists who want to make their physical work or take their physical work and digitize it so that they can scale it. You know what I mean? So they can use it in more places.
Yes, let's be honest. I'm not selling patterns yet. I'm still experimenting in my little pockets of time I have between my toddler and this business. So figuring out what I love is another thing I'm doing. I've got a toddler, still mostly at home, and I'm focused on growing my course and my digital product business right now. But it's on my radar for my future side hustle income stream that I want to start.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a valid reason. You don't really need to rush into pattern selling. It's just a beautiful path to explore slowly, too. I've been at it for over 10 years, and I've only actively been selling patterns for a couple. Looking at it through an instructor's eyes, I hear a lot of objections or obstacles, but let's just bust a few of those common misconceptions right now, shall we?
Yeah.
One of them is, I hear this all the time, I'm not that good at drawing. And you really do not have to be good at drawing. Lots of patterns are made up of just shapes or stamps or simple sketches and doodles. The next thing I hear a lot is, it's too technical. Well, tools can actually be simple once you learn them. And programs like Affinity Designer or Procreate, if those are programs you're using already, they're really very beginner friendly for pattern design with a little bit of guidance. Another thing I hear is, I have to be on Spoonflower, or I have to get licensed to big brands. And that's just not true. You can start with Zazzle or Spoonflower if that's your choice. It doesn't have to be Spoonflower. There are other fabric companies out there that do this as well, and you can own your own shop. You can use patterns on existing products that you have. Now, of course, we've heard so much about pattern design lately that the other thing I hear a lot of is just too saturated. And I'm literally diving deeper into this in my upcoming solo episode. So this is something I want to bust that myth right away. And there are so many other reasons to make patterns. I, in fact, fell into it myself because I was designing for a company where I created a placement print, and they just needed coordinating fabric to put on the backside of pillows and things. So you could, like, for example, if you have a product that you make yourself, so just think about it. If you yourself are making a product, a toy, a pillow, you could have the perfect fabric to coordinate with it to put on the backside of it, or to make additional items to go along with that product. A perfect example is one of my students recently, Melanie, who has created a bunch of placement prints on for pillows that are made entirely up of typography. They're just words, all different words put together. And so she has now designed these and is selling them on Spoonflower, but has made a whole bunch of coordinating patterns to go with them. So I think that is the perfect example.
Didn't she do a quilt? I think I remember seeing that. She did do it with...
No, she hasn't. She hasn't done any sewing. She says, I don't know why I'm designing fabric, because I am not a sewer. But the stuff that she designs is fantastic, and it can be used for anything. So really, you can use whatever. She doesn't use Affinity Designer yet, as far as I know. But you can set up with any software that you currently use. And like I said, Procreate, Affinity Designer are the two that are the most, top of mind. And you can use both of those programs on the iPad. But if you use other programs and you have a laptop or you're on a desktop, making patterns can be easy on any one of those platforms. You can even make them by hand.
Yeah, even pencil and paper works if you're scanning and digitizing. The most important thing is just start playing.
I can give you a couple of really easy and simple things to start with. If you're curious about it, try just creating one simple flower, and then turning that into a seamless pattern. The other thing that's kind of fun is creating a grouping of those little flowers and doodles and anything else that you can think of, and then repeating those to create a wrapping paper. Next occasion you have coming up, why don't you give it a shot? The other thing that I love with, using patterns for myself is using them to work into things like greeting cards or prints that I have. And I have one student right now, Marcy, who is creating a whole bunch of really fantastic lettering, and every one of the letters is filled with a different pattern, and she's making them into some super creative artwork. So there are so many ways.
I'll have to take a look at Marcy's work. I've seen some of it in the community, but I haven't recently seen anything. This is where you can get creative. Like, popular niches in surface pattern design include florals, kids patterns, seasonal holiday designs, retro themes. There's even food patterns. You could sell patterns to people who are chefs or people that love cooking. Geometric designs as well.
Yep. You could niche down by audience too. Maybe patterns for classroom decor, or for planners, or fabrics for baby clothes, or placement prints with coordinates for things like stuffed toys.
Yeah, if you already have a niche with your handmade products or your art, let's say you sell to collectors, this could be a way to extend your brand further.
Yeah, you can sell patterns completely separately as digital downloads. So you could offer them in design bundles. You could submit them to POD sites. You could use them to create all kinds of things. And I have one student as well, Kay, who creates decorative papers that are used in decoupage and in scrapbooking.
Oh yeah, I've seen those in the community. They're really cool, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she does all the layering and things, doesn't she?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's another thing. Another audience you could tap into, like let's say you sell to like end customers, but you could also sell to crafters. You could create patterns. So like Delores has said, you can do digital papers and things, downloads. You can create packs of digital patterns that they can use in their own crafting projects. I can't think of the word then. Yeah, crafting projects. And that is like a huge thing like if you go on Etsy or you go on Creative Market, Creative Fabrica, everywhere you can go to buy digital downloads, you will find digital patterns or even digital textures that people can create. And it is super, super easy to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, and the design once, sell often model is something we're both passionate about, and surface pattern design really leans into this as well.
Absolutely. Leverage it. I mean, if you've got it, sell it in more places than one if you can. If you're ready to dive deeper, by the way, my course, Mastering Surface Pattern Design in Affinity Designer, is open for enrollment right now. And this is a class that I am really excited about. It has a live round with feedback and community and weekly guidance. But there's also going to be an evergreen version that you can take anytime at your own pace. I think you're going to really love it because I can show you how to make patterns very quickly, very consistently. And really, I think it's something that once you start, you get into it, you're going to really love. I want to make the process easier for people. I love hearing my students say how easy it is to use the templates. And I think that'll really speed up your process and make you want to create more patterns and think of ways that you can use those patterns to make a little bit of extra income.
Oh, yes. And if I was starting over again and didn't have this business right now, that would be something I'd be doing because I love the whole pattern repeat. Just, yeah, that as an income stream is just so enticing to do, especially with your amazing templates that you've got. I see the clips and I go into the community and I see like the membership videos of how you do the templates and I'm just like, wow, I want to do this. But then I have to rein myself in and go, no, you've got a load of stuff you need to do before you dive into doing patterns again. So yes, yes, if you've ever even a little bit been curious, it's worth exploring. It might open a door you didn't realise was even an option for you. Yeah,
if you're not sure whether this is for you or not, start with the free workshop. We have a free workshop. It'll be linked below, and you can see if you feel that Affinity Designer is a good way to enter into surface pattern design with minimal risk. And I say minimal risk is because the software is so inexpensive. I teach both Procreate and Affinity Designer repeat pattern making, but for those who have tried both, they will be the ones to tell you it is so much more fun in Affinity Designer. It's so much less laborious. And I'm making the templates, okay, it sounds crazy, but they're becoming more and more complex, but easier and easier to use, if that makes sense. So I've got a template that you literally have 2 placeholders on the side. You drop your own 2 motifs in it, in each of those placeholders, and it immediately makes the complete pattern for you. No kidding. You got to see it.
Yeah, I think I may have seen a clip of something that you shared in the community for something as well. What was it? The scatter? Is it called a scatter one or something? And
it's a toss. It's a toss repeat, and it's
I seen a part of it when I had to dip into the community for something when I come back off holiday, and I was like, what is going on? I thought that is very cool, but I was like, I need to rein myself in again.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So yes, please go and check out Dolores's free workshop. We will have the replay up because I think that it'll be past by now when this episode airs. But please check it out and just have a look because I think you'll be amazed and will be so thrilled to be joining.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Kaylie. And I hope you do come and check it out. As always, keep creating, keep juggling, and most importantly, keep finding joy in the process.